historic is Bitcoin on the weekly, zoomed in a little bit. What's happening here is the purpose of the video. Pretty much waited a full cycle to record this exact video that you're watching. If you're in the live stream right now, smash the like button on the way in. If you're a replay viewer, hit the timestamps if you want to skip around. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things right now. Bitcoin really, truly knocking on the bull market doors. I want to start the video just with a little nostalgia, a clip from over 3 years ago, right before Bitcoin broke into the last bull market. Check it out. We've come a long way, everyone. And now, as I do this video, Bitcoin knocking on the bull market doors. To anticipate, I don't know what's going to happen next, but we've made it. Bitcoin $12,000. Bitcoin $12,000, October 21st, 2020, getting ready to approach the bull market doors then. Just to give you a sense of these indicators, just to give you a sense of what is happening here as we're diving into these charts. And we're going to do technicals. This is Bitcoin making the same exact move that it was making in that clip that you just saw all the way back here in November or October 2020 when I recorded that video. And there's the move. The 618 has been tested. We've been talking about it for quite some time now, especially as the Bitcoin ETF news is coming into fruition. Trading went live today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over some of what is happening in terms of inflow of the Bitcoin spot ETF, the hype of it, how it relates to the charts. And then I'm going to dive right into Bitcoin price. And we're going to look at the charts, not only on the macro, on the zoomed out, but I'm also just going to look at it on the zoomed in and talk about the shorter term moves, the shorter term volatility that I think is wise. It's prudent to anticipate. So please, again, hit that subscribe, everybody. I appreciate you if you're in the live stream, and smash the like button for me as we kind of get this going. So let's start with talking about what's happening. Bitcoin spot ETFs are live. New era for Bitcoin and crypto has begun, and that is just the thing. This is the beginning. I really think this is the beginning. And though Bitcoin is approaching 50,000 for Bitcoin, for altcoins, we're right on the launch pad. We haven't even broken through those bull market doors. So spot ETF total trading. So here's the story so far. Right now it's 10:12 a.m. as I record the video, and this post was 9:35. Spot ETF total trading volume hits $1 billion. And then I'm kind of scrolling through, and then we have at 9:47, $2.3 billion spot Bitcoin trading volume just minutes since market opened. Scrolling through, 2.3 Billy now. I wanted to point out Eric over here, the Bloomberg analyst, ETF analyst. We've been using a lot of his just data. He's been really helpful. He says, we have nothing close to this. What is your data source? So I'm not going to throw around numbers. I don't know exactly how to get these numbers particularly, right? It seems like there's going to be a lot of different numbers floating around in terms of volume and inflow and all that. So it's going to be interesting as the first 24 hours passes, 48 hours to really get a sense of what inflow looks like. Now, before we dive into the charts, just to kind of, I think, set the tone in terms of the emotional side of it, right? Because this is what plays into the chart. It's the emotional side. Bitcoin's at 48,000 right now. It feels different this time. And this will be the interesting thing. I posted earlier, like, because I am so bullish, everybody. I'm so bullish right now. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, let me know in the chats. But I said, I can't believe how bullish crypto is right now. I mean, I believe it because we've been waiting years for it, but I can't believe it. And if you think about it, that is probably the essence of disbelief. If you really think about it, right? So the psychology of market cycles, there's so many pieces to it. But check out where disbelief really is, right? If you go to the left of the screen back here, disbelief, kind of coming out of that bear market phase, the pivot out of the bear market, that depression phase. The disbelief phase on this chart truly is, on a charting perspective, kind of where Bitcoin is. It's at the beginning of this next parabolic run. And you can see what happens next after disbelief, right? Just a parabolic euphoria type of run. So that is exactly what is happening right now. in my view, in my opinion. And I just think it's funny. I posted this post and I kind of summed it up in from my own perspective. Let's dig into the Bitcoin charts. First thing, I want to start on the monthly, and then we're going to zoom into the weekly, obviously talk about the bull market doors, and then we're going to really zoom in on the daily, even the 4-hour chart, because what's happening here, I think, is so meaningful in terms of everything that I'm watching on the crypto charts, everything we've been doing over the years in terms of crypto technical analysis. So on the monthly, I wanted to point something out. This is why it's so meaningful, and I have probably repeated myself a lot. It's meaningful, the move that's happening right now, Bitcoin breaking into this lower high Fibonacci. Again, it's a bull market high to bear market low. It's that green rectangle, Bitcoin breaking into that area. I've said time and time again, it's happening early, pre-Bitcoin halving. We're knocking on the doors. That would be the bullish confirmation that it's different this time. Just because we're knocking on the doors and we're right now entering, right, that $48,000 area, the 618 area, doesn't mean it's the bullish confirmation. What we need is this move right here, right? Boom, breaking through, shattering the bull market doors, kicking down the bull market doors. Otherwise, this could end up being a situation where we're getting rejected prior to the Bitcoin halving and then we're consolidating. So this is a story playing out. The fact that Bitcoin is kind of started entering into the doors is a really big deal, but we're not there yet. This is a monthly candle, 20 days, 9 hours. What I thought was interesting on the monthly that I wanted to point out was I circled these 3 areas on the RSI, this momentum oscillator, really giving us a sense of the momentum of Bitcoin since it's a monthly, truly on the zoomed out, right? So Bitcoin on the monthly, check out where it is. It is, as it's breaking into the 618, breaking into these bull market doors, right around 65. If you go back and you look, when it broke the bull market doors and shattered into the bull market, parabolic bull market, month after month after month of green candles, all-time high, this is exactly where Bitcoin was. But here's the thing. If you go back to pre-halving, when Bitcoin was testing that same exact level, it's exactly where Bitcoin was on the momentum oscillator. So we are at, and this just gives us a different, I think, perspective, a different picture of how critical, how meaningful of a move this is. And we have 20 days, 9 hours left of this monthly candle. By the end of this monthly candle that is in play right here, I think we're going to know whether or not it really is different this time and Bitcoin's breaking into an early bull market or not. Whether or not the Bitcoin spot ETFs really, truly, the inflows, all the billions that are coming into markets, really, if it made that big of an impact and we're getting an early bull market. This is like such a nice picture of that because we're either going to get the early bull market move, which is this on this monthly oscillator, or we're going to get the rejection at these bull market doors, which is very similar to pre-halving last time. And you can just see one more consolidation on the monthly oscillator chart and then bull market. One more consolidation on the oscillator chart and then bull market. That would be typical for Bitcoin. So that's the monthly. Going to the weekly, obviously this is what the move looks like. Bitcoin on this weekly. And I think we talk about why the monthly is important. Here's why the weekly is important. We want to see Bitcoin close a weekly candle above the 618 line, right? This is something that if we go back to the last cycle, Bitcoin did not accomplish this pre-halving. And then if we go even back to the cycle before that, when it was rejected off the 618, Bitcoin did not accomplish that. It did not close a green weekly candle above the 618. So this would be that first step, I think, in terms of if we're trying to identify, is it different this time? Can this happen? Does Bitcoin really have the strength to do this? Break into this area and above pre-Bitcoin halving? I think the first hints will be on the weekly. We have 3 days, 9 hours left on the weekly. So we're going to see. I mean, it's going to be volatile. Even on the hourly right now, it's going to just be volatile. I think the speculation involved here, the true inflow of the Bitcoin spot ETF could have a lot to do with price. Going to the daily chart. Actually, I want to start with the 4-hour because I do want to talk about really what's happening short term, because this is where the technical analysis really kind of comes into play, really brings things together, because this is answering that short-term question of, is it different this time? We have this symmetrical triangle that we've been tracking, $50,000 target to the upside. Bitcoin spot ETF was approved yesterday. Massive news. That news was not enough for Bitcoin price to pump off of the hype of just the news alone. It was approved, right? Everybody knew it was going to be approved, but the news alone didn't pump Bitcoin to $50,000. That was a possibility. That didn't happen. The second thing that we were kind of questioning is, all right, when trading goes live, is that going to be enough to pump Bitcoin to $50,000? So it's not been live for even an hour as I'm doing this video. It has not pumped to $50,000. This is the short-term question. This is the short-term thing that I think I'm watching. Because even if there was not, and I keep saying this, even if there was not a Bitcoin spot ETF, this would be the target. This would be the realistic target to the upside. And the thing is, the spot Bitcoin ETF, it didn't even drive the speculation of it all, the launch of it all, the trading of it all so far hasn't even driven Bitcoin to $50,000. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is because I am incredibly bullish on Bitcoin and crypto and this space and the fact that we're on the launch pad. We've not even entered that exciting part of the bull market. I'm excited about it. I'm bullish. But even still, there's so much room to be cautious. Right here on the 4-hour chart, this truly is the 618 line of the bull market doors on the monthly. We are talking about, when we're talking about entering parabolic phase, this line, this is the most strong resistance for Bitcoin. We're there now. This is what it looks like on the 4-hour. And there's actually clear resistance even on the 4-hour. So there's 38 minutes left on this 4-hour candle. I'm extremely, especially for the last 2 cycles of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin has hit this area, pre-halving, it failed. So even on the 4-hour, I'm curious to see what happens in the next 38 minutes. Can we start closing short-term candles above this resistance area? It's just a clear resistance area on the macro. So target to the upside, $50,000. If this Bitcoin spot ETF, if Bitcoin does start just going bullish, right? And there's going to be a lot of volatility when we're talking about something like a 4-hour. It could be boom, 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 right? There could be a lot of volatility and it could still go up. But going on a daily, some things I'm watching. Clearly, let me get rid of some of these indicators just so we can see for a moment. Clearly, the moving averages, right? The 20, the 50 are incredibly important to me when we're starting to get explosive moves to the upside. The separation from those areas. I've been using the signals and overlays by LuxAlgo lately just because we have these reversal waves, right? We have a red one, which really can signal it's getting really overextended. And then we have obviously a green one, which is kind of, okay, well, it's maybe potentially bottoming out, right? You can see how that's happening back here. But notice when Bitcoin has these really nice explosive moves to the upside. Now, we have a $50,000 target on the short term, which is up here. But these explosive moves of separation from the 20-day, it kind of just hovers, it gets into this upper range of the reversal wave, and then it consolidates, right? So the top end of this range is around 52,000. The reason I'm bringing that up is because I think with all of the hype right now, with the bullishness right now, with even inflow potentially from the ETF, I think Bitcoin could not only exceed the $50,000 target, but then it could just kind of, and it does this often, right? It'll break a target, kind of just keep going, right? For that really true area of resistance, overbought type of vibe. And this is what could happen on the 4-hour. It's getting overbought. It's breaking the $50,000 target. People are really getting hype, and then the resistance comes into play. Not necessarily have to be resistance at 50,000. It could be around 52. And I think the LuxAlgo visualization here on the signals and overlays, in particular, this reversal zone, right? The upper end of it could be that area. And that's something I'm watching on the shorter term. That's a daily chart. And that's kind of why I like some of these LuxAlgo indicators. They add a different perspective for me. It's not always just targets and then boom, consolidation or resistance. Oftentimes Bitcoin will overexceed targets to the upside, to the downside. And we have to kind of take other pieces of data to analyze, well, where could that real resistance be? So it could be a scenario where it's exceeding 50,000, RSI is cruising to the upside on the 4-hour. topping out at 52 before that first real true resistance, that first real true consolidation. And that's what it could look like on the daily. Boom, right up here. And then maybe just sideways. Maybe support at $50,000 where the target is on the shorter term out of this triangle. But notable, everybody, I think the most notable thing, I don't mean to sound bearish or anything, because you all know I'm not bearish at all. Most notable thing is the technicals of it all have just become absolutely reliable. Even with the hype of the Bitcoin spot ETF, even with the hype of the markets and getting ready to enter the next bull market, they're just so on pace. It's just the technicals of it all, and this has been the story for me over the years, no matter what is going on, bearish or bullish. Even when FTX, Celsius, they were collapsing, charts were falling, there was always a structure. I don't know if you remember watching or seeing the charts. There's always a structure on the charts. And even now, the hype of it all, there's just very nice structure. And this is a 4-hour chart. Nothing crazy has come out of this. It's not like all of a sudden Bitcoin, because of the ETF, exploded through 50 and it's just going parabolic, which I think many people might have anticipated. The charts are being respected one way or another. That's happening right now, even as I do the video. So I wanted to do kind of a quick video. I didn't want to make this a long live stream. Just my initial thoughts upon the trading of the Bitcoin spot ETF. Going to be interesting to see inflows. The Bitcoin bull market doors, Bitcoin is there. And even on the 4-hour, everybody, it is obviously clear resistance. There it is on the 4-hour. Here it is on the weekly, the lower end of the bull market doors. What happens next in the next 3 days, 9 hours to end this week, I think is so crucial. I will continue tracking this. If you're not a subscriber and you're curious as well to see if a first time event happens, Bitcoin breaking through the doors, pre-Bitcoin halving, to start an early bull market, please subscribe, turn notifications on. If you're in here right now, we got around 1,600 people. Smash the like button on your way out. Really helps those algos. And I appreciate your support one way or another. I see the chats over there. I hope you're having a good start to your day. Enjoy your day. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.